What is wrong with these people? Oh my goodness. So I'm honestly starting to think that America's favorite pastime is just blaming black people. Okay? That's what I'm starting to think in this country. And it would be funny if it wasn't so true, because this is crazy. What I'm referring to is DEI, okay? Because DEI is the new CRT. It's essentially the boogeyman for racist white people. That's what it is. Now, if you all don't know what DEI is, it's diversity, equity, and inclusion, okay? Now, you know, anytime the racist white person hears diversity, they just think, oh, anti-white, which is crazy because this country has never been anti-white since its inception. They have managed to create this to be the boogeyman to blame for black people. Because you have to understand, DIE is synonymous with black, just as CRT is synonymous with black. Okay? Anytime something goes wrong, the barista gets the order wrong at Starbucks. Don't freaking DEI, that's this DEI hiring. Okay? It's it's crazy. They're stuck in traffic. DEI, it's the freaking DEI who made that lot red. God dog DEI. Okay, this is what it's becoming. It's becoming essentially a euphemism for the N-word. That's all they do. They did it, with CRT. Bro, these fools were complaining about their children learning history of the country. That's what they were complaining about. They were upset that little white Timmy was having a guilt complex upon learning about the country and then saying, hey, this is CRT. No, it's not CRT. This is America. And if little Timmy understood where America came from and where it is right now, maybe he would have a little more respect. Maybe he would want to apply some change in this country. But many of these racist white people, they have these kids and they put onto them, they project onto them their beliefs, where they are. But the problem is many of these mofos are stuck in the 1920s and stuff. So now you got little Timmy growing up like a 1920s, freaking saltine in 2024. And you wonder why we are where we are in this country. They have gotten just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs with it, because I genuinely did not know what it meant to when people were saying, hey, they fear us. I didn't get that, because I was just like, what do you mean they fear us? What are you talking about? What do you mean? And as I paid more close attention, I realized this is absolutely a fear, but it's not even a fear. I'm gonna trash that. I'm gonna call it a phobia, because that's what it is. A phobia is an irrational fear of something. That's what it is. They have black phobia. That's what they have, bro. They have black phobia. They have black people phobia, because it's an irrational fear of us. Because all we've tried to do in this country is assimilate. Hell, you have people who are trying to lighten their skin to look like them. We have done everything in our power throughout this history of us being in this country, try to imitate them. In some cases, you had some of the Sambos and whatnot. You had people trying to, hey, I want to go to your coffee shop instead of mine. You had all this attempted assimilation, because it never happened, okay? Integration is not the same thing as assimilation, because they have never welcomed us. They've never treated us as Americans. You have to understand that, because when we complain about it, well, they say, why are you saying it's black American? You're just an American. Okay, fine. But when I say, hey, this type of American is having problems, it seems that you guys don't care. And that's always been the case in this country time and time again. This leads me to this incident, which is, bro, I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss of words, because the level of fragility they have as a group, these racists have as a group, it's off the charts. I have to admit, I haven't seen it before. Scientists have got to study this level of fragility. And I would argue, as Dr. DeGroy hints at her book, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, that it stems from post-traumatic slave master syndrome. That's where it stems from. But I digress. Moving on. What has happened? You've heard the story. The airplane, a door came off. Now, these mofos, I want you to understand, these mofos took to Twitter to blame, guess who? Black people. Now, I don't know what we had to do with the airplane falling off. I don't know, maybe they thought that it was the ancestors, okay, that Harriet Tubman ripped the door off because it was full of a bunch of white people in the plane that she suspected to be racist. I don't know how they linked this with black people. One way they linked it, as they always find a way, they'll always find a way. Notice, they'll always find a way to blame black people. Always. It's crazy. It's a skill, honestly. It's really a skill. They managed to blame black people for this via, that's correct, you guessed it, DEI. They blame black people for the airplane door falling off because of DEI. You had this mofo, racist Elon Musk, going on Twitter talking about DEI. DEI is going to cause people to die. DEI is horrible. Do you want to ride in a plane with DEI? Now, Elon's another story, because what Elon is essentially that little frail white kid, that fragile white kid who got picked on, and he was never popular, and none of the girls liked him. And what happens is he gets radicalized. He gets radicalized by people who are saying, you want to know why? Because it's the blacks. That's the reason why, okay? We created this country. Do you know they lied about everything they did? We built this country. We started this. We did civilizations, okay? We was kings. That's what the white nationalist cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs mofos, what they do. And they've managed to get their claws in Elon Musk because, once again, all the Chads, all the cool white boys weren't worrying about black dudes. That's not what was happening. They weren't about their women. We weren't about our women. Like, many cases, we got along just fine. Because, like, hey, you like women? She fine? Yeah, I like women too. She fine. Let's go, right? It's a win-win. But the fragile little white boys who are skinny, they usually skinny. They're usually on the either side of the spectrum, right? Really, really skinny, right? You see them. Or really, really corpulent. That's the spectrum of white inferiors, because I'm not going to call them white supremacists, because nothing they've done in this country would lead someone to believe that they believe that they're supreme, right? They're superior. Everything that they've done in this country has led, a reasonable, rational person to believe that, hey, this sounds like an inferiority complex. That's what it sounds like. But nevertheless, they're blaming black people for the doors coming out. Now, I looked into the story. And what it leads to is that it goes back to Boeing, allegedly. That they're saying, hey, this has to do with the loose bolts. This has to do with the manufacturing of the plane. That, there is loose bolts. And they even go so far as to say, hey, there may not even be loose bolts. It may be the engineering of the bolts themselves. Now, I don't know how any of that has to deal with black people. What does that have to do with black person? You tell me it was a black person who engineered the bolts of the plane that go into the plane? Is that what you want to tell me? It was a black person? I don't understand. Like, what are you talking about? But you have to understand this fear that they have, because it is a very palpable fear that many of these saltines have, these racists have, where it's like, hey, we're losing the country. Hey, I'm going to lose my job to a black or a brown person. Hey, what's going on? What's happening? My children are going to be discriminated against. Like this complete fear that's never happened in this country. Never happened. But the crazy part is they think that DEI somehow has to do with black people. Now, can you explain to me at what point in this country, ever in this country, has this country done anything exclusively and specifically and solely for the benefit of black people? Even after slavery. You want to know what they said after slavery? Lift yourself up by the bootstraps, okay? Stop asking for everything. I guarantee there was probably one racist out there. Well, they all were at the time. Guarantee there was one who was like, lift yourself up by the bootstraps. And there was another black person saying, yeah, lift yourself up by the bootstraps. And, they had babies and they had babies and they had a lineage of Candace Owens and Larry Elders and whatnot. But that's neither here nor there. But when does that ever happen? It's never happened. What do you want to say? Affirmative action? It didn't benefit black people, nor was it specifically or exclusively for black people. They always do this trick bag, right? They have laws, systems, and rules put in place based off of race. That's what they did for hundreds and hundreds of years, okay? And then their genius, I mean, it's really demonic if you think about it, really demonic. Their idea, brilliant idea is, hey, we're no longer going to make rules off of race. How about that? And people were like, yeah. And I was like, all right, everything's done. We're all good here. And it's like, wait. But you had years and years and years of rules based off of race. So how you plan on fixing that? Well, we don't. We don't plan on fixing that. Lift yourself up by the bootstraps. Because now that we have a law put in place to do, where we can't make rules, and laws based off of race, we can't help y'all. So I don't know what to tell you. Sorry. So now they have to include everyone. Well, people of color, this country has always given us the middle finger. Okay, always. So now when it comes to affirmative action, who benefited? White women. When it comes to DEI, I kid you not, you will not guess who benefits, the most who benefits from it. White women. That's who benefits from it. So even when they have the veneer of, hey, we're trying to help, it's always a two-facedness about their behavior. Always. Even if you look at history. If you look, hell, you can ask the Indians, the Native Americans, hey, do you think that these mofos have a two-facedness about them? 100%. A guarantee they will say yes. 100%. Okay? And they've made you to believe that if you don't engage in their wickedness, their corruption, their degeneracy, that there's something wrong with you. Their manipulation, right? If you don't engage in that type of behavior, well, you're the problem. You're what's wrong. See, you need to get up to time. You need to become modern, right? All these words, right? And it's like, no, I don't think so. Even with Elon, doesn't Elon have one of his alphabet kids that he doesn't even talk to? Like, what is anybody going to talk about that? I just find it so interesting how they've managed to put black people as, the people that they want to blame for it. We're literally America's punching bag. That's what you have to understand. So in short, you have to be very careful, black people. You're going to have to be very careful because these people have been shown to do very heinous things in moments of fear and desperation. Okay, which in many cases they are seconds from. We see what happened with January 6th. And unfortunately, due to the system that we have right now, until it changes radically, they're going to be shielded. You may get a few who get prison sentences, but since we have politicians who are saying, hey, it was nothing but, a walk in the park, it was a tourist attraction, the same people who are cowering in fear, you have to understand that there is a certain privilege that is bestowed upon them. So keep that in mind. All right, stay strapped. 100% stay strapped. That's also something else that they try to remove from us. That's also, man, I'm telling you, they want, I'm telling you this, there are many white people, now they're becoming more vocal because they're like, oh, it's cool to say this now? You have to understand, there's a lot of sheep, and sheep have no mind of their own. So all it takes is one shepherd to lead the sheep over the cliff, and they will go over the cliff, okay? And you have people like Elon who are simple, okay? They're simple in thought, right? They want to be accepted. They want to be that cool kid. And if they can't be the cool kid to the non-racists, well, then they'll be the cool kid to the racists, all right? It's as simple as that. It really goes back to Homelander, bro. Hey, you can either worship me as a hero or hate me and fear me as a villain. That's what it is. At the end of the day, he just wants to feel some type of group affiliation. That's what he wants to feel because he's not loved by, the Democrats, right? Even though his whole electric car thing, like, do you think Republicans are going to be buying your cars, bro? do you think Republicans are going to be buying your AI robots? No, so you screwing over your whole base off of what? Off of what? Someone saying we like you, Elon? But, crazier things have happened, right? If you go back to Voltaire, once you get people to believe, crazy things, then they'll behave, they'll actually do, despicable things, heinous things, in gist, that's the gist of his quote. But that's what we're seeing with Elon. That's what we're seeing with a lot of these people, that they're being led astray by wicked, demonic lineages of evil. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, look at this, DEI is killing people, okay? We're trying to save this country. We're trying to save it. Or if you happen to believe, you can save it, but what does that have to do with us? Just keep our names out of your mouth, okay? Keep our names out of your mouth. What is wrong with you? What is this infatuation with black people that many of you racists have? What is it? Huh? Man, goodness gracious. There's got to be a documentary on that because I'd love to see it. Love to see it. Anyways, if you happen to disagree with the video, you're more than welcome to call in during disagreement days, which lucky for you is today. Simply held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we duke it out. Either or. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think. What's their deal? I expect to see some, fragility in the comment section as well. It's just, I don't know, fascinating, truly fascinating, the level of fragility that is on display in current times. Share and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing. To blame, guess who?